Yeah, you've got Hayden Patriquin, who is 18 years old, Gabe Tardio, 18 years old, and spicy with the chirping on Hayden Patriquin's side, too. So keep a lookout for that. Federico Staxrud.
You got Tyson on the other side. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard something from him.
Moments away from first serve here.
And before this match, we had the Orlando Squeeze throwing out orange shirts to the crowd. So like we talked about in our last match with DC, a lot of fans out there because they bust them in. And
that's right.
What Orlando did was just everybody in the crowds take a shirt, whoever's willing to take it.
Great merch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a great mascot.
They do.
Squeezy. The DeVos family owns the Orlando Squeeze, great ownership group. They also own the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, it's not terrible. They have full experience with that.
First serve underway. Tyson McGuffin all over the pop-up chance, throttles it.
Side out. Hang on. I can only have general manager and 2 players. One, 0.
He'll miss it, but still a rocket.
Solid contact on that.
Point, 1.
Say you pay for all the paddle, you might as well use it, even the tip of it.
Absolutely. It's worth it. Yeah, just a little miss hit. that cord can do something for you, or it can set you up for your opponent for a high winner.
Clean finish down the middle for Fed Staxrud, and you want to know what? There's no player right now that seems to be more dedicated than Federico Staxrud. After 4 tournaments in a row in April, you want to know what he did? He didn't take a break.
Of course not.
In between, he went back to work.
He's on it.
His coach, Mike Wolf.
And this schedule is tough. It is. I can't imagine doing it now. I cut down my schedule immensely compared to a lot of these players. They're every weekend gone. It's grinding.
Tight miss for Hayden Patriquin.
5-1.
Staxrud has been so consistent in men's singles this year. All 8 PPA finals he's made it to. Missed the ATP that he always pockets.
That's 2-5.
Gosh, and we're at 6-2 already. It's this young team on this side really has to kind of start waking up and creating something right now. Tyson and Fed are just plugging along.
Through the middle, counter, Gabe Tardio. He's had some great results on the PPA side. He and Andre Daescu slayed the Giants.
He's
Colin
doing
Johnson,
well.
Ben Johnson
He's kind of giant. I mean, he's growing right in front of us, I think.
That's true.
In the Hayden, I think, once he starts getting fired up, that's what he's got to do. He plays his best when he's out there lively and talking. And right now, it's kind of quiet on this end.
Side out. Point. 4. 4-7.
Good night from Tyson McGuffin.
Side out. Point.
Veteran, he's been around the sport since 2016 is when he turned pro. It's really impressive to me that McGuffin has kept his level up for that long.
And he's very dedicated.
Easy. As you pointed out, the schedule has changed. The level has
changed. Especially he's got family and kids, and we know that we do have a lot of players that have kids. It's a tricky situation. It's this travel schedule is difficult. It's
9-4.
And you know, Fed and Tyson aren't really doing a lot right now. They're just being consistent. They're not really putting a lot of pressure. They're just kind of at the beginning of the match. They just want to be the strong team coming out solid for now, and it's working.
Side out. Point, 10. Come on. 10, 5.
Again, that's something that Hayden, that shot he hits really well. He gets really nice extension and reach and can roll that ball behind.
All right, hang on. 6, 10.
What a counter from Gabe Tardio.
And that's the thing. They both have that kind of funky little backhand that they can kind of turn into. Creates a lot of athleticism. I think, you know, these two players have so much athleticism on this side of the court, which I think is their absolute biggest strength.
Nice shot and chance for Federico Staksrud in the shock. Pulled back within 2 after a hefty lead for Orlando. Now gone.
And there's that energy. They're kind of getting going a little bit more.
On for Staksrud again, another miss and a 1-point game.
9, 10.
Gabe Tardio taking over.
There's the hand speed. He's I mean, it's true. His size has gained a lot. He's got a lot of confidence, and he's just as solid with his hands as any other player out there.
10, 10.
Counter through the middle, and St. Louis recovers their first lead of the game.
There he is. And that was almost, you could kind of see it in the body language on McGuffin and Staksrud's side. It was, you know, McGuffin was kind of expecting Fed to finish that up, and I think, you know, vice versa. And look at that. Now on the changeover, it's a whole different, almost changeover. I'm sorry, not on there, but you got Hayden starting to get the stare down. But that shows you he's stepping up.
Yep. Yes, one timeout.
St. Louis 1 point away from the end change. Flip the momentum, down 5 to start. Oh, missed chance.
Bad luck.
Got a cookie.
Point, 11.
But now you got Hayden, he's smiling, he's chirping a little bit more. It's a good sign.
11, 12.
Gabe Tardio pulls the trigger on Staksrud. It works. St. Louis gets to 13 first, and Orlando.
It's a hugely different position on the changeover than where they've been, I mean, most of this game.
Orlando's stuck.
You wonder if they're just, if McGuffin and Staksrud are just going to ride it out a little bit, or if they're going to change something on this. You know, they've got to stop the damage a little bit right now. There's been too
Orlando had this game in control, up 10-5 at one point on the St. Louis Shock, and suddenly Gabe Tardio and Hayden Patriquin found it, recovered the lead, and here they are, 13-11 on the end change. Heavy ball from McGuffin. It's a good way to start out of the break.
And that's, there's a little fire coming up, maybe, and that's kind of what it's got to do. They've got to start being a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, slippery ball from Hayden Patriquin twice.
Completely had that plan, executed it perfectly. Just
looking at Hannah Bright on the sideline.
Yeah, it's
14-12.
Another great counterattack from
Gabe is holding. He's won the last few hand speed battles where wasn't being as successful in the beginning, and this is what they need to just kind of keep winning those battles and keep the pressure on.
That's the ball Fed Saxford rarely misses. St. Louis now in full control with a 4-point lead.
And Anna is just getting more and more fired up as we go. And that's the first miss we've seen from Gabe in some time. I think that's okay. He's stepped it up so much, and he's the reason right now that they're in the lead. And that's just simply bad luck. Hayden's got that phenomenal backhand flip, and it's the right play. He's been doing it well. You can see it's getting better and better as the match goes on.
14-16.
Wow, hands battle. Tyson McGuffin getting involved now too. Paris Todd barking on the sideline. Remember, Fed and Tyson have spent some time playing together last season in MLP for the Miami Pickleball Club.
Oh, I mean, phenomenal hands.
I think it was wide, but perfect resets from Fed Staxrud to set it up.
16-16.
Almost cheering too soon, but again, we've got it. Oh, there's going to be some discussion about whether it touched the hands or the forearm.
I'm asking, are you asking? Okay.
So 3 free challenges on both sides. One will be used here.
And I honestly think that's a good challenge either way. Whether or not they win that, it's you see the squeeze difference right now is they're putting a lot of pressure and they're starting to win some of those points. So even just, they're both getting a little bit worked up, but honestly, if they lose this, it stops some of that momentum. So it can still be beneficial. You can see both Gabe and Hayden are positive that it hit his arm.
There's been a challenge, fault called that the player was hit by the ball on the return. The score is 17-16. Orlando squeeze.
There's a look at Vivian David, who's on the court with Fed Staxfruit. Take a quick look at the call as soon as we have it. It's an interesting team matchup. I like this one. It's going to be close. Both ways.
I think it's going to be, I mean, we're just in our first match, and I feel like we've been out here like forever. It's exciting. It's a good match.
What do you think?
I
don't see anything here that's wrong.
I think he cleared it. I do not think it hit his arm.
I don't think it hit his arm anywhere.
I mean, they were both very positive about it, but it's a tricky, the ball is so fast.
That looks all paddle to me. That doesn't even look close.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to be nice, but no, it doesn't look at all like it.
I was just going to say.
Yeah. And often when the ball rolls off the paddle, it can seem like it's the hand or the arm, but yeah, it did very clearly look like it was the paddle.
After video review, the ball hit his hand, not his arm. The point, 17-16.
All right, so it wasn't all paddle, it was hand,
serving.
which is completely legal, but if it were to be the arm, to your point, can't do that.
So then we'll just see how they deal with the challenge, because that's, I think, the double-edged sword of the challenge. It's if you don't come out on the right side, it can mess with you mentally.
Side out.
But both Gabe and Hayden are so strong. I think coming back from things, they're very good at recovering.
Patrick Quinn was all over the flick down the line. The youngsters.
I mean, he's steady. He's not, his feet aren't even moving. He's waiting for that ball to get redirected at him so he can eat it up.
Oh, tagged him too. Tyson McGuffin tried to shuffle out of the way.
He was looking for Hayden to go down the line, so he was moving over so he can counterattack with his forehand. Hayden saw it, though, and he went right at the body.
My goodness, Gabe Tardio. Wow.
That's great defense.
Couldn't get something back.
I would say, I mean, that's worth it. If you're going to lose a point like that, if that's what your opponents have to do to win a point, then it's worth it.
18-19.
No one's there.
Rolls it through.
Point, 20. '18.
Perfect lob from Tyson McGuffin.
It's a great changeup. We haven't seen him hit that shot all day, and it's a different look, so it's moving the court in a different way, which is what they needed.
19-20.
Oh, he got it. Oh, and
Hayden said, "You can lob, but I can lob better." Let me tell you, when that ball goes back, it's Hayden's lob kicks so quickly.
21-19.
That's a tough ball to pick up.
Got made fun of last year, though, for his overhead. Got chirped.
Yeah.
I think it was Loon that chirped him for that.
20.
Like, yeah, he's got really good hand speed, but don't look at his overhead. Put one away there, though.
Totally.
He's working on it.
20-21.
Oh, big drive from Stachroot. Tie game, 21 apiece.
That's a big one right there. A little frustration out of Gabe. That's kind of his shot right there. He just wants that little backhand punch.
21.
Tyson McGuffin takes the lead.
There's that. They're speeding that ball up.
Back and forth as the momentum goes.
There you go. So that's what they're going to call it. You use that timeout with that momentum. It's a very smart thing to do, which I think that's one thing. Hayden's they're both young, but their IQ is so high. They both put a lot of work into the game. They've had great partnerships and great people to work with over time that's helped develop their game so quickly.
Well, rally scoring, anything can happen, especially at the score line. So final 3 to 5 points, depending how far this goes. Game's 25, win by 2. What's execution, obviously, but what else will separate who wins this match or game?
I mean, I think if Stachroot and McGuffin can keep putting that pressure on Gabe's backhand, especially on that cross court, then that's going to be tough to recover from. So I think they need to come out and just close quickly. Whereas, Gabe and Hayden, they can definitely come back from this. And I think there's a chance if Gabe can just hold on to that backhand and they can maybe de-escalate their attacks a little bit and take control.
22-21.
Patrick blows up McGuffin, who's had his number down the line a couple of times now.
I really like those speed ups. And one thing noticing too is Gabe, he slid over to take a forehand, and which I think is something he needed to do at that point. And they're getting a challenge of it. It did look like it was out from this angle. He did have a play on that ball.
23-21, Orlando squeeze.
At least you get a break out of it, but I'm not sure that was close enough to challenge.
I don't either. It's
might need that.
But that may be exactly that momentum, the adjustment they made off the court. But that's a tough one to challenge. It was a slow bounce. It wasn't like it was a super fast one.
Here's another look. It looked like McGuffin looked over right away. That's wide.
It definitely does. From our angle, look wide. And mind you, sometimes we got to admit, our eyes trick us.
Yeah,
that's reality. A lot of times people don't realize, with head movement, a lot of movement, your eyes do lose sight of the ball. It's a tricky situation. So someone can clearly think, hey, that's in. I know it's in. And the camera kind of proves us wrong. So if he really, truly felt, hey, that ball was in, then I could see the point of that challenge. But if I'm on the sidelines, I'm maybe saying, let's not challenge that ball.
We'll keep tabs on that. This is the first of 3 matches total for the Orlando Squeeze this tournament. This is the 3rd match played by the St. Louis Shock. They had a big win earlier today over on Grandstand over the LA Mad Drops. The Shock went down to a Dream Breaker. We talked about it last match.
We were watching the Dream Breaker on our screens.
And Parento in singles.
It's amazing.
Really where this Dream Breaker format gets so much fun. You can have so many crazy matchups. You can have guys against girls.
And knowing Anna is always has a different strategy with, she's going to kind of come up with these things to try. And, she really kind of has it down to a science from the strategies of who goes where and singles and the lineups. And she puts a lot of thought into it.
Gabe Tardio and Hayden Patriquin lost to Thomas Wilson and Hunter Johnson in men's doubles in that matchup, 25-23. So These games have been tight.
It was tight. I watched the end of that match. It was phenomenal. It was good. You had all these people come over to watch it. It was exciting. Could have gone either way.
All right, so after video review, the call stands, the ball was out.
Call stands, no surprises there. And should also mention the Shock took down the Texas Ranchers in regulation on Friday. That's Christian Elshon's team. Tina Pisnik, Etta Wright, and Pablo Tellez. That's a good team.
Absolutely. I think they're... confusion with the score. And final decision 22-22.
Squeeze fans in the house. Momentum on both sides at the moment. Trigger pull and a flick beats Tyson McGuffin down the line again.
I mean, and there's that kind of like size with Hayden. He's smaller,
so
but
low to the ground.
He gets so low under a ball.
Massive point here. Oh no, it gets it again.
Twice he went for that backhand flick, and notice how he's changing his target slightly. It's kind of catching McGuffin leaning the wrong way.
Game point for St. Louis. Gabe Tardio pulls the trigger on Fed Staxrud to take game one, 25-22. So youth prevails in this one.
It is. That agility, that athleticism, I love it. It's a big win for them to start off with.
The teenagers take down the veterans, Fed Staxrud and Tyson McGuffin. We've got women's doubles coming up next. Paris Chad joining Vivian David for the Orlando Squeeze. And it's Anna Bright and the new entity, Kate Fahey, coming up next. Women's doubles up next in this team matchup between the Orlando Squeeze and the St. Louis Shock. This is the first match of the day for the Orlando Squeeze, the third of the tournament for the St. Louis Shock. Team format, all 4 players drafted to each respective team. A different system this year, and Paris Todd was chosen as the 3rd player for the Orlando Squeeze to play with Vivian David. And on the other side of the net, Anna Bright, the 3rd overall pick in the draft, chose Kate Fahey at number 42 overall, a late pick. Everyone was like, who? You chose what? And that's what Anna Bright does with these Major League Pickleball drafts. She's able to sniff out talent. She did with Rachel
molds them to
Boerbacher.
what she needs, you know, and molds, able to get them early and makes them, you know, it's again, it comes back to like how Anna thinks about tactics so much and strategy, and if she's able to shape a player a little bit more early in, then that's going to be beneficial for her team.
Point 1 goes to Orlando. Vivian David, the orange leggings, playing with Paris Todd, the orange hair tie. Sometimes hard to tell who everybody is watching from this angle. So Paris Todd typically plays the right in women's doubles, playing left this time with Vivian David, who's a right side staple with that backhand in the middle.
Yep. It's Vivian is always going to be more confident on that right side. That's, you know, she's one player that doesn't stray away from that too much. She has a couple times for MLP, but she's so solid on that side and confident there.
Ooh, beautiful ball down the middle for Paris Todd. Kate Fahey's in the top left corner, playing with Anna Bright, the former University of Michigan tennis star. Anna Bright played tennis for Cal. Ooh, Vivian David was in the firefight, just barely missed.
It's early on. It's getting Vivian to start warming up, get first match out, and as long as she keeps hitting those shots, she'll start making them.
Ball for Kate Fahey, low to the left foot of Paris Todd. Former tennis pro as well. Monstrous play from Kate Fahey. One of the reasons Anna Bright wanted her on her team was the energy and the competitive edge.
And Anna definitely needs that. Like that's her forte. She wants to build a team that's going to create that same edginess, competitiveness. She wants that energy out there. It's again, it's kind of, we talked about these tactics of how to pick a team and how much their first pick is going to build a team around that. And Anna's going to dictate that to build a successful team. She's good at it.
Anna Bright, of course, the two-time MLP champ, 2022 and 23. MVP for the Orlando Squeeze last year, playing against her former team here today. Taking over the point and a 2-point lead is Anna Bright.
And Vivian's trying to get in there. She's got that great backhand poach mid-court. It's almost there. She hasn't got the opportunity quite yet.
6-4.
So it looks like Paris immediately called it out. And Vivian did say it was in, so.
Fumbled return to go with it for Paris Todd. An 8-4 lead now for St. Louis. New ball given. That one out of the stadium. We're at the Lifetime Peachtree Corners here in Atlanta, Georgia. Beautiful facility. Three in a row. That's tough after the missed line call. More mental at this point, it seems, for Paris.
You know, I think it's tough to be overruled. It's tough to, when you feel confident about something, and kind of worked out. I mean, it's a benefit they had to stop the bleeding a little bit, right in Anna's wheelhouse.
5-9.
David just pulled maybe a little bit too far to the middle. Anna Bright saw the opening.
You know, it looked like Vivian got what she wanted.
Right.
She was trying to work it up and get that, and it just seemed like it was a miss hit, maybe kind of lost it. That the shadows are definitely changing out there. I mean, that may be part of it, but I like actually that move from her. I like her taking up more space, trying to create something.
Point for Paris Todd, two-time MLP champ, twice in 2022. Back in the BLQK era.
I remember playing them, yes.
Another point for Orlando, back within 3.
7-10.
Anna's making sure she doesn't ditch that one. She already felt like she lost the ball because of a call.
11-7.
Oh, what a play for Anna Bright.
She was all over that one. Again, you can see Vivian's being very aggressive on that right side of the court. She's making that side really big.
12-7.
She's trying to involve herself a lot more.
Oh, what a shot for Paris Todd. Great defense, though, by St. Louis.
And I mean, a phenomenal point. Anna trying to get herself back in that point, but great placement.
Anna Bright catches Vivian David off guard, one step too late in St. Louis. We'll get to the end change first, 13-8.
She's, I mean, you could hear Anna on the sideline. It's come on, let's go. She wants every single ball. She's been going after every single ball these last couple points, like really making that court big.
Orlando needs this game to even out the series. It is best 3 out of 5 if we need the 5th, and we will be right back to see if Paris Todd and Vivian David can march on to a comeback. back in Atlanta, the St. Louis looking to go up 2-0 on the Orlando Squeeze, making their debut this season in Atlanta. Haven't seen the Squeeze out in action yet this tournament. 1 match today, 2 tomorrow for the Squeeze. St. Louis looking to go 3-0 on the tournament. Another strong call from Anna Bright.
Do not touch the ball. It is out. Let it go.
7 feet wide. Doesn't matter. She's a great communicator.
She's going to communicate. There's.
It's so good from Anna Bright.
Those are the balls that like Anna does so well, attacking that 5th and the 7th shot. And I think that's really your big difference between women's doubles and men's doubles is the women's game. That space is utilized so much more. Those 5ths and those 3rds, there's so much more opportunity created in these matches. And it's something that they do very, very well.
Anna Bright has been on a tear when it comes to PPA medals in women's doubles. Typically teaming up with Rachel Rohrmacher, winning a couple in April. Oh my.
Oh, I mean,
if they won that point.
They did. I mean, it was great defense. They get back in there, and then, you know, Anna just wants to finish it and close. And I think that's, again, her energy. It maybe isn't the smartest shot, but she's going for it.
Pop-up chance and a miss for Vivian David. That is a tough one to surrender at this point in the match.
Well-played attacks by Paris Todd and just got the result she wanted.
Ooh, and wide on the volley. St. Louis running away with this second game, up by 8. Rally scoring games to 25, win by 2. Orlando in some trouble. What do they need to do, obviously, other than stop missing?
You know, that point's
errors are tough.
A good example. Earlier in the match, Paris was getting a lot of options, a lot of points off of that last shot going behind, soft behind Anna, and now she's trying to speed up and keep it deep, and that's going into the game that Anna wants. Anna and Kate want. They want the speed ups, they want the fast shots, whereas that softer shot behind was successful earlier, but it's very easy to get pulled into that game when that energy is so high like that. So it's a little bit, again, just slowing down and watch what's in front of them, not letting Anna Bright dictate the match.
And how about Kate Fahey making her MLP debut here in Atlanta? All the pressure on her.
Well, I think what she's got to remember is her main job is keep the ball in play. It's when you've got experience like Anna next to you, a lot of times it's a key factor to have kind of an anchor, someone that's consistent on these teams, kind of allowing their partner to be a little bit more wild. I mean, and that's right there. That's Vivian David's, one of her best shots is that little backhand flick, but again, they're both going for that same ball. It's just a miscommunication. And mind you, that's it. Vivian's getting the setup. She's playing behind Anna, making that ball bounce a little bit. And it's like she knew it was coming, but just moved the wrong way on that last one.
Through the middle, splits the difference, Anna Bright.
And kind of right there, again, I think Paris started to go behind her, but didn't go as extreme. She played that middle space a little bit too much. And now Anna's able to take it in the air, which is giving her what she wants. I think Anna's just putting a lot of pressure on that court and Paris and Vivian, and you make more errors when you've got someone that amped up in front of you.
Over on Grandstand right now, DC playing the Arizona Drive. If you're curious about that one, pull up multiple screens. Excuse me, screens. Got it. Vivian David hops the corner, gets the Ernie.
There's that ant up, and that's what I'm saying. The longer points are going to favor Vivian and Paris and put a lot more pressure on Anna and Kate on that side. That's what they have to do, and they're good at that. Vivian David could be in a point all day long and be comfortable and confident and still be able to come out aggressive at the end. And that right there, I think, goes to show maybe a little bit of nerves from Paris's side. Vivian most definitely thought Paris was going to take that middle third, and Vivian is kind of covering a little bit. And that's been pretty consistent, where Paris has been taking more of those thirds and allowing Vivian to press forward. There we go. And that's kind of like I said, Vivian's got to play that space, make Anna bounce the ball behind her. So it sets up either of them, pulls her out of that middle.
Counter for Vivian David.
Great coverage. I think Anna was trying to draw Vivian out to cover the around the post, and Vivian was like, nope, I'm staying right here.
Wow, and a slew of misses for St. Louis means Orlando is creeping in. No sign of a panic yet, but when do you call a timeout here as the gap gets a little bit slimmer?
There it is. I mean, that's a huge momentum shift. Vivian's taken a lot more court. She's really taken more assertiveness on those balls, and you know, that's a lot of pressure on a player like Kate, who hasn't been in this arena before. Paris hasn't been here in a while, so yeah, I think it's tough. Vivian and Anna both are just so solid across the board, so at least they've got good leaders on their court.
Chicken on Grandstand, game point here. DC looking to close it out. DC is the team in black, near side of your screen, taking on the Arizona Drive. Lacey Schneeman on the other side with Caitlin Christian. Short, and DC takes the first game, and that's a big response after dropping the first match for them against the Columbus Sliders.
And they were down in that match by quite a bit. They were down by at least 6 points in this particular match, and they came back and won it.
Fahey gets a hold of it. They just needed one, it seemed.
And it's a well-played point, and it almost looked like Paris was like, well, should I attack now? I feel like I should. And it didn't really look as deliberate, I think, as it maybe has previously.
Get to the kitchen, but Kate Fahey mishandles it. Orlando Squeeze with a try to close the gap, though running out of time. No freeze, no more winning on your serve. You just play to 25 and win by 2.
That's totally brand new world. I mean, just look how far Anna's coming over. She wants to close out. She wants to keep that pressure. And Paris is kind of letting her. I think Paris really has to get Anna out of that middle.
Anna Bright closes it out on her terms. How fitting, 25-16. She lives for Major League Pickleball.
Yep.
She is Major League Pickleball.
She's it right there. It's a phenomenal win. And just like that, I said, keep it out of the middle. Every ball was up. Anna's just owning that middle. She's putting, as soon as they started scoring, they want that lead. She just stepped on the gas the entire way. This team wants another win. They want to keep rolling this out.
We have at least 2 more games to go. We turn to mixed doubles next. St. Louis won the toss. They chose to react. So Orlando will have to show their hand first, and who they pair together. We'll be right back with those combinations next. The St. Louis Shock looking to go undefeated on the tournament so far. They're up 2-0 on the Orlando Squeeze, who are debuting their season in this match right here in Atlanta. Tough start for the Squeeze, and Anna Bright is doing Anna Bright things, as she does in Major League Pickleball. So the coin toss we talked about, St. Louis won it, and here's where it matters. They get to choose the matchup. So obviously I would assume they're going to just try and win it 3-0, right? So you get more regulation points, team standing points, if you win in regulation over any team. And so they're opting to go with Anna Bright and Hayden Patriquin against Orlando, who put out their team first.
They want to try to finish. They want to get it done. They want to finish this up if they can. And they're going to be a tough team to beat right now. Hayden and Anna, they both finished their individual gender game's solid, being super aggressive. I just think they're just going to come out and.
It's Fed Staxford and Paris Todd taking on Anna Bright and Hayden Patriquin for the St. Louis Shock. Big rip from
oh, there it is.
That's
the Hayden that.
Big H, 18 years old, and finger wagging his elder.
Yep.
Here he is. Can't speed it up cross court to that guy. He's going to eat it up.
Quite a few net courts throughout this, all these matches so far.
Yeah, it really has. Creating errors on both sides at the moment.
I mean, there's definitely errors, and I think the difference is Hayden and Anna, they're making errors on the right plays, on them being aggressive, which they are going to score some points off of. So it's going to start working for sure. It's worth it for now. I like seeing Aiden attacking those mid-court early.
Todd all over the opening. Pounces.
There's a little bit of fire coming from Paris because I mean they need this match. They know they have to come out and win this match. There is no option for them. And that's another classic Hayden shot that he does so well. He's got great soft hands with those.
What's Hayden going for there?
It's you know, he's such a well-rounded player. It's interesting. He really loves that inside-out forehand, and he can, again, his size. He's got so much agility compared to some of these other players.
Do good from Hayden Patriquin. Picked his moment, picked his spot.
A little bit of a pull away from that, which is it's bound to kind of happen at some point. This has kind of been I mean, not a super exciting match. It's just gone back and forth, but now they're kind of streaming some points together with just a little bit more consistency.
Fed needs to be big. I wouldn't say he played his cleanest match in men's either. Cleanest game, it seemed like he wasn't as happy with that performance.
You could see Fed said in that last point, it almost was like it was trying to get himself going a little bit. And mind you that it's the right thing. He knows to step in there and move and take that ball, but that energy's got to get up.
Another uncharacteristic miss. There's been a couple of those. He doesn't usually miss those.
It's just kind of been a flat match for him a little bit, and that's kind of maybe going to what we talked about before. This is the Squeeze's first overall. That was a tough men's doubles match to lose, and then now we're down the women's match. It's a tough spot for them to be in because they're in a no options. They have to win this for them to even have a chance to stay in the game. And so that's a lot of pressure, but it's also hard to recover from that mentally.
St. Louis Shock were formed in 2023, owned by the Chaffetz family. Based out of St. Louis, Richard and his family and his son Ross oversees the team operations. He's also participating in team practice and rolled his ankle in it. Not sure if that was shareable information. Hopefully it was. Saw him in the medical tent as I was getting some work done myself. And we wish him a speedy recovery.
Be up in no time.
Nothing Dr. C can't handle. And they picked Anna Bright with good reason. Any team that picks Anna gets the luxury of her mind with it when it comes to the draft. She clearly builds her team around a winning mentality, but that competitive, feisty, passionate nature. Anna Bright.
I mean,
Right
you talk to a lot of the owners about the decisions makings they go through because they're still learning this process on what's the best strategy, sometimes picking players because of their sides or their partnerships. And Anna has consistently built a team more off mentality and everything. And we've seen that with a couple of the teams, thinking of energy and age and those types of things.
Big blast from Fed Staxrud. Michael Jordan-esque. Flying back.
I mean, again, there's that Hayden Law that we saw earlier in the men's match. It's really good, but he went after that, and they need it. They need to start getting some energy on a couple of these big points.
Wide again. Orlando getting some steam back.
There we go.
Hayden had the Orlando squeeze on a string.
I mean, Paris and Fed played that well. I mean, just staying that point that long with Hayden being so big, just absolutely fantastic hands on both sides.
Time lights up from the kitchen.
Get a little momentum going. I really love to see these guys turn it around and gain some speed and give them a shot to stay in this match.
Aiden Patriquin finishes down the middle. Big H, another big play. He's been incredible.
I mean, his coverage and aggressiveness in the middle is fantastic. He really has a lot of reach. He's very deceptive with that reach.
When it comes to teams built for the future, I mean, these players are locked in theory, to their teams for the next 3 years. That court help there down the line for Hayden Patriquin. The St. Louis Shock, to me, are one of the best built teams for the future. You've got Hayden Patriquin, Gabe Tardio, 18 years old, Anna Bright, 24, Kate Fahey, who is just beginning her pro career. I mean, you do have to drop one player at the end of the season. That is the rule for 2024. But interesting to see how this all will shake out.
It is. I think that's what the players have asked for. It's tough to change from you know, so many teams and going through different ownerships, and it's hard to you're not comfortable, but having these kind of locked in, it's a lot more consistency in the schedule. It's more consistency with your partnerships. You're not kind of second guessing what's going to happen throughout the year. So I think, you know, for everyone, this is
more certainty too. Over on Grandstand, it's DC once again taking on the Arizona Drive. DC on top, 21-13, up a game 2 after a wild women's doubles performance for them. Arizona is in the white. It's Andre Diascu and Dylan Frazier taking on Big Dekel Bar and James Ignatowicz. Really like that DC pickleball team too. Very well built. And St. Louis in control here in game 3, looking to sweep Orlando.
That's I mean, that's just a consistent point right there, and that's staying in it, and it's kind of waiting for Paris to pull the trigger. She's done that a little bit after feeling that pressure, but you know, Anna can dink all day and wait for that error. Again, those are the toughest errors. Once you make one and it's shaking, it's a lot of stress. I'm curious, I'm trying to remember, did Orlando Squeeze use a timeout for this match yet?
For this game, I'm not they've used it on the match for sure, but I don't.
This game, I'm trying to.
I don't think they have.
And that would probably be the one I want to know, is if they're going through this whole time with this. They did use it. Okay, it's you can see it. It's just a very tough situation for them to be in. It's almost like they haven't been here the whole match.
Game point, St. Louis, match point 2. They win this one, the match is over, but we will still play a 4th game no matter what, because game net differential will matter come season end. Each team vying for 3 standing points. happened there?
Got a foot fault.
Okay.
I think looks like
White one.
Hayden's right foot.
13-24.
And a game point saved. St. Louis still with another game point. They could close it out here and a match point.
Yeah, that's Saxford really trying to convert. The hands of Hayden in response to Fed being so aggressive, that goes to show the whole match. It's been like this whole game. They've just, everything that Saxrud and Todd came up with, Hayden and Bright had an answer. And that's just tough to play against, tough to be in that situation where your team's already down 0-2. And I think it's got to be even tougher right now for McGuffin and David coming out and just trying to get one win, 1 point for their team.
Yeah, regulation win secured for St. Louis, and Orlando playing right now for pride, confidence, and for better positioning if it comes down to the net game differential come season end. We'll be right back with more from Atlanta.
Chorizo, vigilante.
St. Louis Shock secured a regulation win, over the Orlando Squeeze in 3 games. And so now for the Orlando Squeeze, they still have plenty more matches to go this tournament. Where do they go from here, Sarah Ansberry?
I think they don't have a choice but to come out and win this game. They needed to move forward. It's so tough to be in this situation, and I think there's a good chance they win. If anyone can kind of pull out that consistently, you have David and McGuffin, veterans on the court. They both have been in this many, many times, and they are the leaders of this team. And if they just come out and play their game, you know, their shots perfect for this. They can absolutely take this match. I would hate to be on the end there if they did not. I think that would be just so difficult to come back from.
St. Louis, a perfect 3-0 on the tournament so far. And first serve of game number 4 on the paddle of Kate Fahey's, looking to find some confidence with Gabe Tardio. believe they've dropped most of their mixed doubles games together. Gabe and Kate.
Gabe and Kate. Gabe coming out thinking they've won a couple points. He can take a pretty low percentage shot and try to keep seeing what he can get away with early on in this game.
Some hesitation on the call there for Vivian David and Tyson McGuffin. Call was out.
It was. It looked like they were all kind of questioning at the time, and I'll say when it landed, I kind of was like, oh, was it out? I thought there was a pretty good chance, but there was also a shot like a few balls prior to, or it was the last point that you saw that Vivian looked at the ball that Tyson was hitting and thought it was out and did not call it. So I think she doesn't want to lose two opportunities on that. Yeah, and you can even hear Stackshire on the side saying, the last 2 points you missed out. And I think that's what it is they're not going to give away another line call.
Here's another look. I think that's definitely wide. I see a lot of blue between where that ball lands. So that's going to give them the squeeze a little bit more momentum. David's excited about this. She's like, I called it out. I let two go. And she did look indecisive on the call, to be fair, too.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, but they needed a win here.
What else could go wrong in this one? Let's throw in another curveball. That ball coming from grandstand on the other side of the green wall. McGuffin crashing on the third. speed from Gabe Tardio. Picked up the sport when he was 14 years old, originally from Bolivia. Top tennis player in his youth in his country.
Squeeze got a little more momentum. I mean, when you look at this from experience and everything, I mean, David and McGuffin should win this match on paper for sure, but the mental toughness of a team behind you coming back, even though Kate's very new to this, she's gonna play up and she's gonna show up today, and she doesn't know them well enough to fear them much.
Down the line, lofty winner for Gabe Tardio. And if you're new to Major League Pickleball, it's anything but traditional.
Yeah, that's the what's
rally scoring, games to 25. You stay on your respective sides. Ooh. That Corin to tie it at 5. Vivian David takes over the point.
And that's the Vivian that she does it. She plays with Thomas Wilson on the PPA Tour regularly, and she's does that so well with him. And I love to see her take up more space. It's every time I see her, she's getting more onto the left side.
Oh, it dropped in. Tardio does it again with some unexpected off speed. Just lofts his paddle in. By the way, Vivian David, you mentioned Thomas Wilson teaming up for mixed doubles. 2 gold medals for them. One of them against Ben Johns this season in the PPA side of things. Ooh, who goes? Vivian's backhand or Tyson's forehand?
And that's one of those we were talking about earlier. When does the male always have to come over when Vivian's sitting on it and ready to go?
Play for Tyson McGuffin. Easter egg hunt success.
Do it again, right here, let's go.
8-7.
Keep talking, Squeeze, let's go. Keep talking, here we go.
Let's go, Gabe.
Right here, Squeeze.
Let's go, Kate.
8-8.
Come on, Squeeze.
That's a great speed up from Kate.
Tyson McGuffin rolls it inside out.
Right. I mean, that's a big serve, and I was talking about, again, the service rules, being able to get a lot of aggression up on top of that serve.
10-9.
Through the middle, Vivian. David threads it. There's some life on the side of the Orlando Squeeze. A bit too late in this match, unfortunately.
They need it. And so, I mean, at least if they can get this one win under their belt, they're getting a little more momentum into their next match, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of confidence.
David does it again. Our next match, by the way, is not until tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern for the Orlando Squeeze, and then 6 p.m. Eastern to close on Sunday.
All right.
Oh, such a good counter. That's the one she missed, is what she's thinking.
Next ball, you're good.
10-12.
Team 10 end change will happen now as Orlando takes their biggest lead of the game.
It's the most confident we've seen them all match.
Yeah, the most animated too. It's just felt a little flat for them here today. And we're going to take a quick timeout to get you back out to the rest of game number 4. The Orlando Squeeze looking to take a game off the unbeaten St. Louis Shock. They've 2 other matches under the belt, the Shock. The Shock do. And they have won every single match. The Orlando Squeeze, this is their first match of the tournament. They've got 2 more matches tomorrow. Looking to find some confidence here. Well played by Kate Fahey to tie it at 13.
Just threaded the needle there.
Former Michigan Wolverine tennis star. making their MLP debut, was an unknown entity to this point on the pro scene.
Got out. Point. 14. 14-13.
Close them up.
Yeah, I think Vivian David, for her size, she takes up so much space on that right-hand side of the court. She makes that forehand so big and hard to pass her.
Cut. Cut out. Point. 14. 14-15. Cut out. Point. 16. 16-14. Got out. Point. 15.
Come on, Gabe. Come on, Gabe. Come on, Gabe. We need this. Come on, Gabe.
15-16.
Come on, Gabe.
I mean, we're talking about big serves. That's a big serve from Gabe Tardio. I mean, he's in the air practically hitting that thing.
Got out. Point. 16.
Squeeze.
16, 17. Got out. Point. 18.
And the nice thing about this is everyone's just playing pretty solid. The points are nice now, nothing special, but they are lengthening out quite a bit, and it's the first time we've seen the squeeze really show up as a team.
Got out. Point. 17. 17, 18. Got out. Point. 19.
Come on, squeeze. Right here. Let's go. Keep going, squeeze.
19, 17.
And I love it because Tyson wanted that big forehand. He went and swung at it, and Vivian just stepped in front of him and said, nope,
Give me that.
I'm doing this.
20, 17.
Down the line, burning Gabe Tardio on the back door.
And that's classic Vivian David right there, that inside-out forehand. She gets so low under that ball and just redirects it unbelievably well. When that is on, you just know she's on fire.
It's the Vivian David show right now.
It is. I love it. It is. If there's anyone that's going to get their team more motivated again, it's Vivian. It's, you know, she's going to stay positive till the end, which, is something this team needs right now. They need that energy to say, hey, we can go into this next match and show up and shake this one off.
She's been around the sport since 2013. Her dad in a tennis and pickleball retail store in Southwest Florida. She started working there at age 15, got exposed to the sport. She's been around it for so long. One of the nicest people you meet off the court as well.
Her sister Abby played before she did. Just again, one of the nicest people. And it's Vivian started playing, and all of a sudden she was here full time.
One of the OGs still going.
Time in, 21-17. Side out. Point, 18. 18-21.
Hello, Gabe Tardio.
19-21. Got out.
Kind of a rare
Point,
miss
22.
coming in, but he's at least going after that middle more. And again, they're keeping it tight. Anything can happen. They've been playing solid. Kate and Gabe both solid the whole match.
Got out. Point, 20.
Go shot, come on. Go shot, end it. Come on, all the way, all the way.
20-22. Got out. Point, 23.
Such a tempting speed up to take for Kate Fahey. We've all been there before.
23,
Perhaps showing
20.
a bit of newness to the sport.
Yeah,
there.
a little bit. So that shot selection still gaining knowledge on when to do it and when. And that's always a tricky one, that low ball. And we've got a game point.
24,
Orlando
20.
on the brink of taking a game here.
Oh,
Side out. Point, 21. Twenty-one, 24.
Big counter for Kate Fahey, finds the opening.
don't count them out. They're still trucking along here.
22-24.
Oh, that's just an unfortunate way to win a match that was, I mean, pretty even across the board going in, and just an error. That was the shortest point that we've seen, essentially, in the last few, but the Orlando Squeeze, that's a much-needed win from them.
Yeah, they get a game, and St. Louis takes the match. We'll be back to talk with Anna Bright and Kate Fahey on their journey to forming this amazing, unbeaten St. Louis Shock team. We'll be right back.